The MMA India Show.
Hi, Henry. Congratulations.
Yeah, hello. How are you?
Good. So we are going to start off with Caroline Pierce with BT Sport.
Okay, how many interviews am I doing here? And how long?
Just a few,
You know how long?
about 10 minutes.
10 minutes a piece or 10 minutes
10
total?
minutes total.
Okay.
We're going to grab your bag.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll be asking some crazy ass questions, just like, no, you're good.
Sorry, Henry. We're having a little bit of difficulties.
Well, you guys figure that out. I'm gonna head to the restroom real quick.
Digamos, es una amenaza muy seria realmente en el piso. Khabib.
Hi, Henry. Sorry about that. We are going to start with Justin Barrasso from Sports Illustrated.
I'm curious. I know it was a little bit controversial at the end there. Obviously, that's the referee's decision, not yours. But any comment? I know Dominic was disappointed in the referee stopping the fight. What's your comment? What's your take on the way the fight ended? Keith Peterson calling the fight.
Oh man, he was out, man. Dominic was out for the count. He took these hard blows, man. You can see like when I thrust my hips on these shots, the same thing with TJ. They go limp, man. So there's no excuses on that. Defend yourself. Typically, what Dominic does, and I studied him, is he tends to grab you, which is a roll. He never did that. So when I saw he wasn't doing that, I knew that he was in trouble.
I know after the fight, the broadcast team, thank you for that, talked that they weren't overly surprised that you'd hinted at maybe retiring. I still think it caught a lot of people off guard. What was behind the decision, and do you have any next stops in mind? You could go back to the Olympics or pro wrestling, or there's really no shortage of opportunities for someone as talented as yourself.
Yeah, WWE. If they want me to do an appearance, man, they can call me, but they could bend the knee too. I'm looking forward to getting into business and just start a new chapter in my life, man. Having kids, eventually, getting married and all that other stuff, man. I'm 33 years old. I've done a lot of my career. I think it's time to spread the seed and give to the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Kevin Ioli of Yahoo Sports.
Triple C, congratulations.
Thank you, Kevin.
Hey, can you talk about what your emotions were as you walked out tonight? You have a huge fight. You know that if you win, you're gonna walk away from it, and there's nobody there in the crowd to kind of get you fired up. You're an emotional guy. You flung your hat into the crowd. What was going through your head as you made that walk for the final time?
Man, you're good. You're good, Kevin. You caught that.
I saw it.
Well, that's the ritual, man. That's typically what I do. Right before I fight, but I continued the ritual, man. I threw my hat out. I did all that, and it was special too to retire like that because I was able to see the people that have been there, the UFC, the staff, people that make this possible. I was able to actually have a conversation with them. They actually hear what I get. And I told my closest friends that this was it for me. Obviously my thought process of losing just doesn't fathom to my head. I mean, my mind will try to play tricks on me, but for the most part, I knew that I was going to win, and I knew that this was just it.
One thing in the fight I want to specifically ask about, and then one other thing outside. It seemed first round, you were in control of the fight very well. The second round, Dominic's footwork seemed for a while to give you trouble. Did he make any changes in the second round that you had to adjust to?
Yeah. No, I don't even think it was so much Dominic. I think it was more the fact that I just, I just didn't make that adjustment as I should have in that second round. But I think once I got headbutted and I started bleeding, I knew that more likely I was probably going to lose that round. I knew that I had to do something to steal it. And my team called potatoes, and which was key to hit the body. And we happened to catch him and straight in the head. So that's all she wrote.
And then my final question for you, Henry, as you thought about this decision as training camp was going on, was it just the fact that it's so difficult what you've done in camp? Like camps take so much out of you, and did that play a role into it? Like how physically demanding the training camps are for the sport?
Yeah, honestly, Kevin, I think it's just more of the freedom. You follow my story from the 2008 Olympics.
Yep.
I haven't stopped since.
Yeah. Crazy.
Brother, a break, man. And plus, I do want to leave on top. Like it is a Cinderella story. I've always envisioned myself just like Daniel Cormier. Unfortunately, he lost his sleeper, but I know he wants to leave on top. And to me, man, leaving on top with 2 belts, an Olympic gold medal. I think there's a lot that I could run with that. I think I'm a persona, man. I'm a personality. I feel like I have a lot of good traits that I could give to the world other than just fighting.
Congrats, Henry. Thank you.
Next, we have Caroline Pierce with BT Sport.
Hi, Henry. Big congratulations for tonight's performance. Of course, defending your bantamweight title and being the first person to TKO Dominic Cruz. We'll talk about the retirement in just a moment, but in terms of the performance itself, talk us through it.
Yeah, the game plan was to flatten his tires. In other words, kick his legs out. And I think they weren't expecting that. I think they were expecting me to use hands and whatnot, and probably maybe not find him. But it was using rage. It was being disciplined and just kicking his legs out. And that's exactly what we did in that fight. I just isolated the plans that my coaches had given me. So I was extremely satisfied and happy with everything that happened in the fight.
And obviously it was the knee, and then you followed up with what seemed like a lot of unanswered strikes. But then Dominic was was getting up, it seemed, when the ref called it. There's been, people sort of saying different things regarding that stoppage. From your perspective, being in there at the time, what do you think of that stoppage?
He was hurt. He was hurt. I saw his body go limp. I saw he just wasn't reacting to them hard punches, and the ref has to do his job. And if you're not answering after two or three, I mean, I'm throwing blows. This is early in the fight too. As you can see, I was thrusting my hips, clenching my hand, and just beating them to it. So the ref has to do his job. Sometimes the ref has to save you, for yourself.
It was a phenomenal performance, and your athleticism, as always, spectacular. And I was getting ready to ask you about who's next, and are you going to marry Jose Aldo and get him out for the fight, all that kind of stuff. And then you announced your
Jose Aldo go find another 90-day fiance. I'm gonna be happy retired. Who knows? I might go to Fight Line and watch them fight. I don't know. I gotta talk to Uncle Dana. If Uncle Dana ain't mad at me.
Look, you announced this retirement. I think for a lot of us on the outside, it was quite a shock. 33 years old, still in your prime. With talking about being in the quadruple C, all that kind of stuff. How long have you been thinking about this?
I've been thinking about it since my shoulder surgery, since I had it. And there's so many layers to Triple C that people don't know about, man. I'm a conqueror. I'm a bird, man. I love to fly. I love to explore. I love to conquer new things, and I feel like I've done everything in combat sports. Olympic champ, flyweight champ, bantamweight champ. I mean, can I just leave on top? Can I just be a simple answer to just leave on top?
You can do anything you want to do. You're Triple C, but I'm already hearing kind of murmurings of some people saying, "Oh, he'll be back." But then when you retired as an Olympic wrestler, you didn't go back to that. You moved on and eventually found fighting.
Exactly. I moved on, and I'm gonna move on. I got a girl. I got a girl now. I think more importantly too, I want to start that next chapter in my life. I've given so much to this world, even though I'm 33. Man, I lived. Like my life is more of like a 50-year-old because I've done so much in combat sports and what I've sacrificed. So I eventually do want to have kids, and I just don't see myself. I was raised by a single mother. I never had a dad growing up, and I have a bunch of nieces and nephews, and I just don't envision myself fighting and having a kid.
Mm.
I just don't see any. I've never saw that, and I've never had kids, and I could have had a bunch of kids, but I want to give my time to my procreation.
What are aside from your girlfriend and looking towards having a family, in terms of work, in terms of entertainment, television, you are a born performer. I mean, I heard someone say earlier about WWE.
Hollywood, or Hollywood, we can all get it. I would eventually like to get into real estate and then eventually start like my own HGTV show. Showing people kind of like the aftermath of what a professional athlete does. And I don't know that much about real estate, but I'm very intrigued by it. And I would love for these cameras to follow me around and to see my step by step, all the mistakes that I'm gonna make, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you're asking me, I would love to have I would love to still use my persona, still use my personality, and but this time use it in a not so cringy way.
Well, the world's certainly your oyster. I mean, a final question from me. What would be your message to your fans, those that have supported you through your entire career and up until this point now?
It's been fun, man. I want to say thank you. You guys have been there for me, whether you hate me or you love me. Like everything that I've done in the sport has always been in the best for my weight class, for my division, for everybody. I know it's a lot. It's very hard for people to understand that because the crazy things that I do, prior to fights, but it's all done in the love of promotion. And even though my nickname is a Triple C, prior to that it was the Messenger. And I feel like I will always be the messenger, somewhat wrapped into Triple C. So if I can leave you guys off with three things that's made me successful in my life, I call it dream, sacrifice, victory. The bigger the dream, the greater the sacrifice. The sacrifice always has to be greater than the dream in order for you to accomplish victory. So dream, sacrifice, victory. Sincerely, the greatest of all time, Triple C.
Well, that's quite the sign off. I'm going to leave it there and say congratulations on an incredible career and your performance tonight. Thanks, Henry.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mark Raymundi from ESPN.
Can I get some water?
Hey, Henry, congratulations, man.
What's up, Uncle Mark?
How are you?
What up, Flavor Flav?
I believe this was your first training camp working with Eddie Cha as your striking coach. How much did that play a difference in the fight tonight?
Big time, man. The dude is a genius. He's extremely, extremely smart, and it's a bit unfortunate too. The fact, but he knew, like these guys knew going into like this is going to be Henry's last fight because I talked to him about it. I was like, listen, man, I've done everything I've ever wanted, and but man, I picked up so much, man. I'm a sponge, man. When you have a great coach like that, like Eddie Cha, I'm a sponge, and I'm just happy he got his world title finally. You know, Eddie's a good man. A little bit that I've had to spend time with him, almost like you see a friend of a lifetime. So he's good. He's probably upset with me too that I'm retiring.
When did you actually make the final decision that you were going to retire, and not just retire, but retire tonight after the fight?
Yeah, I just think just through this whole fight week, like I had thought about possibly even fighting Aldo and making that my last fight. I'm just like, this is. I'd be happy with just winning this fight, defending my title, and just saying peace to everyone. Peace to the Middle East, man. I want to leave on top, especially the fact that nobody has fought for the flyweight title. I want to be able to say, man, hey, nobody had that belt but Triple C, man. I may have relinquished it, but it was still mine. I'm leaving both of these belts on the line. I'm leaving on top with this. Hey.
John Jones tweeted like seconds after you said that in the cage that you just want more money. That's the real reason why you said it. You're not retiring. Can you speak to that at all?
I mean, money does talk, but I don't even think it's that, man. I think if and I had even been in a meeting with Dana, and we had talking, and I had already talked about retirement with Dana. You can ask him too. That conversation, it's a very personal conversation. That should be between me and him. But ultimately, Mark, I'm happy. I'm satisfied with my career. How many people could say that they're leaving on top, man? Like money can't give you that. Like it really can't. I think that the money that I'm gonna make in real estate is gonna set me up for a lifetime. So I'm looking forward to that next chapter in my life. And that's it, man. God bless everybody that doesn't believe me. That you guys will not be seeing this thing unless I'm cringing somebody. I'm stepping away, man. I'm gonna be a fan. I'm happy, man. I did it in wrestling. I left young. I pretty much retired at the age of 21. And, I'm retiring at the age of 33 in the sport of mixed martial arts.
So if it's truly the end for you at bantamweight in the UFC, how would you book the next bantamweight title fight? Who would it be between which two fighters?
I would do a 4-man bracket with Peter Yan, Aljamain Sterling, Cody Sanhagen, and Marlon Moraes. And I would shuffle these dudes, put them in a bracket, and then pick them out, and then have them all fight each other. And I think if you do it like that, tournament style, you start to create. If the UFC could create, and without the respect, man, Bellator did that with Patricia Pitbull at 45. I think that would be a really good step for them to make a 4-man bracket with the top 4 guys.
Thanks, Henry. That was all for me. If this is the end, congrats for everything, all the achievements.
Yeah, man. Well, you don't believe me too, Mark? Jesus, just because I'm young, dude. I've always said I was gonna retire young. I never wanted to be in this game for that long, dude. I'm 33 years old, man. Like I'm happy, guys. For those who think it's a publicity stunt, dude, think again, man. You guys, I bought a piece of property that I'm gonna start building a house, and that's where a lot of my focus is gonna be on, like in real estate. I'm actually gonna be working like firsthand because I want to understand the tricks and the traits of building something. Again, man, I'm a conqueror. I love to explore, Mark, and I'm looking forward to that next chapter in my life.
Okay, one last question with Carlos Contreras from Milenio Diario.
Hola Henry, felicidades.
Muchas gracias.
Bueno, ya sé que ya lo hablaste en inglés un poco, pero quiero solo preguntarte, quiero preguntarte si hubo algo esta semana que te convenciera o fue algo que ya tenías pensado desde lo que decías de la lesión, o hubo algo esta semana o con todo este proceso de UFC 249 que dijeras, esto es la última para mí.
Sí, ya he hablado con mi mentor que yo tengo, ya hablé con mi equipo. Esta va a ser mi última pelea. ¿Me puedes ver?
Sí, sí.
Sí, esta es mi última pelea. Ya no, ya estuvo para mí. Yo estoy satisfecho con mi carrera. Defendí mis 2 cinturones. Yo creo que yo puedo usar mi plataforma para hacer pláticas de motivación con lo que tengo ahora. Y más que todo, yo me quiero ir encima. Yo me quiero ir y decir, hey, ese fue el mejor, se fue el mejor y nadie le ganó. Campeón olímpico, campeón peso mosca y campeón peso gallo.
Si hubieras perdido hoy, que obviamente no fue el caso, ¿te hubiera quedado todavía una espina de seguir en esto?
Si Dominic me fuera ganado, me retiro también, porque si no le puedo ganar a él, si no le puedo ganar a él que no ha peleado en 3 años, no le voy a poder ganar a los que vienen.
Eh, Me imagino que tienes mucho futuro porque obviamente hablas español, obviamente eres estadounidense, hablas inglés y el portugués también.
Inglés.
Una estrella en los 3 idiomas.
Es todo.
Bueno, Henry, pues muchas felicidades y que tengas suerte y si tu decisión es tener familia pronto, que tengas una bonita familia y la puedas disfrutar.
Sí, gracias, muchas gracias.
Thank you, Henry.
Yeah, thank you. Is that it?
Good night.
Can you help me with the?
Of course.